Here we go again, another story about entrepreneurship, and that means we're on Radio Entrepreneurs. My name is Jeffrey Davis, and I'm flanked to my left by my trusty buddy and engineer. What's your name again? Chris, right. Chris Gerald, that's right. Thought he was my intern for a second. Just joking. There's nobody who could ever replace Chris Gerald. If you hear Radio Entrepreneurs, if you see Radio Entrepreneurs, the signature behind it is Chris Gerald. Our next guest is Gil Shai. Is that right?
Yeah.
Of Cloud Endure. And, a great name. I don't know what it means yet, but it sounds great.
Okay, yeah, I'll explain in a second. But basically, it's Endure in the cloud, and that's what we do. We help companies move workloads, both for disaster recovery or migrations, into the cloud.
Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So just as an example, let's say you have, in your data center, you have an application or a couple of applications, and you need them to work when there is a disaster of any form. It could be a physical disaster or just a bug or hacking your system. Someone hacked your system. With a click of a button using Cloud Endure, you can just spin everything up in one of the major public clouds like Amazon, Google, or Azure. That's what we do.
Wow. So tell me your history. How did you get into all this stuff? What's your background?
Well, my history starts at the age of, I think, 11, when I started writing the first code on my Sinclair Spectrum, if you remember that. That's a pretty old computer. And wrote my first game at the age of 13. And then, at some point, went to the army, as we do in Israel, to a technological unit in the Air Force. And, from there, I basically moved startups, mostly startups, also one very big company. So I learned both sides of the game. And eventually my first startup was started in 2008, was named AcceloWeb. What we did there is acceleration of web page load times. So we made it much faster to see the web page when you clicked on a certain web page. And we did that. I transitioned from technological position to a more business position. Today I'm the chief revenue officer and co-founder of Cloud Endure. But back then I was the COO, the chief operations officer. So I managed all the technical side with the customers. So it was, and a little bit of selling. And then, we sold the company at some point to Limelight Networks, which is an Arizona headquartered company in the NASDAQ. We worked there for a while, for almost 2 years. And we started Cloud Endure at around end of 2012. So
who's we?
Yeah, that's a good question. So we are 4 founders. Myself, Ofer Gadish, who is the CEO, Ophir Ehrlich, who is the VP R&D, and Leonid Feinberg, who is the VP Product and also responsible for all the support we have. So we've been doing it already for almost 10 years across 2 companies. And as I said, current company is Cloud Endure. We have offices both in Israel as well as all across the US, Boston, New York, and San Francisco offices. I think that's pretty much it.
You had, I would say you went to graduate school in the IDF, correct? It's sort of like you're a product of like the book Startup Nation.
Yeah, 6 years in the Army, working in computer science and doing some very interesting stuff. Also, my partners, 2 of them were in the in the famous 8200, the intelligence corps, in various elite units for computer science and programming. So we're the only one who's not been in a technology corps is the CEO, but he's pretty smart as well. And we're pretty technological in the DNA of the company.
So, what kind of company hires your services exactly?
So, actually, we sell to mid-market up to enterprises. So we have customers such as Capital One, Panasonic, Motorola, Consumer Reports, very large customers. Toyota. You probably heard of the names. every company that is big enough to move to the cloud or need to protect their workloads into the cloud is a potential customer. We don't have a specific vertical. We just sell to any big company that needs to protect its workload.
Oh, that's nice.
Mm-hmm.
And all your partners are also Israeli, like you?
Yeah, we're all Israelis. I'm based here in Boston, while they are based in Israel.
Oh, they're still there.
Yeah, they are still there. Management is partially here and there. All the business side is in the U.S. because most of our business is in the U.S. Most of our revenues is here. So all the sales guys, the business development, all that stuff is here. The R&D and mostly the technical parts of the company is in Israel.
How many people do you have here?
We have about 10, a little bit more.
Is it a subscription service?
So
I'm looking for your revenue model.
Yeah, sure. So we are a software as a service company. So you move, you just connect to the console somewhere in the internet. You open an account and you start working with Cloud Endure. Our subscription base is very simple. We either have, if you're doing disaster recovery, you have a subscription of 1 year or 3 years, or we have other terms as well. If you're just doing a migration, it's a one-time fee. You just pay per server, and as many servers as you move, you pay for. And pretty simple, actually, business model.
So where do you see the business going? I mean, everybody's worried about backup to the cloud. So you seem to be in the right space.
Yeah. So yeah, we see. So if we talk about a little bit about history, the disaster recovery is something that is going on for years now. It's not a new thing. It started where people had physical servers and they needed to recover them in other physical servers. It moved to the virtualization space, which is VMware and all these guys, and now it's in the cloud. So we're seeing a lot of customers trying to look at how to save costs and how to utilize the cloud with specific. I mean, the cloud is super flexible and easy to use, and the visibility is great. And they're saying, okay, now I want to have a disaster recovery, and I want to use the cost saving that I can have, and that's where they come to us. So if you're looking at other solutions today, they either do disaster recovery to their other data centers, or they're using disaster recovery as a service solutions, such as SunGuard or Island and all these players. And now they're saying, okay, we can use now the cloud. We have a better visibility. We can see everything. And they're coming to us, and there's a very nice transition to the cloud. We see customers moving from tens of servers up to thousands of servers, protecting them in the cloud. And it's a very nice hockey stick. So we're seeing lots of growth. If we're talking about a little bit of the vision, we're a workload mobility solution. So we aim to be able to give you across your hybrid cloud the ability to move from anywhere to anywhere, from any cloud to any cloud, or from on-premise to cloud, or utilize your servers and your workloads. I mean, today everybody's talking about nobody's having everything on one cloud or on-premise. It's all mixed. So you are able now to use all your workloads across the hybrid cloud to protect it, to move it, to monitor it, to have complete manageability of all this. This is where we're going to, and we're doing. We're working well towards that aim, towards that goal.
Good. If somebody wants to find you and Cloud Endure, how would they do that?
So it's easy to find us in various places. We first of all, the website has a lot of information about how to contact us. The www.cloudendure.com. We're all over the public cloud, so we have in Amazon, in AWS. We're in the marketplace. You can find us there if you just look in the marketplace. Google Cloud Platform. We're integrated within their console. So if you just try to go to their console, to their cloud console, and you try to import a VM, there's a button, import VM. You press it, you go to Cloud Endure. So we're integrated within the Google console to help migrate into there. And you have a lot of information there, both technical and business-wise. And Same with Azure. You can find information about us in Oracle Cloud. We're in the marketplace. So a lot of places. It's really easy to find.
Well, I hope you come back again, will you, and tell us how you're progressing?
Yeah, sure.
The technology.
Sure. We'll be happy to.
Thanks for coming in. My name is Jeffrey Davis. This is Radio Entrepreneurs. And if you want to speak with me or send me a note, talk about entrepreneurs, you can find me at my consulting firm at the letter J, Davis, at mageusa.com. We've been speaking with Gil Shai of Cloud Endure. Thanks for being on the show.
Thank you for having me.
We're going to take a break. We'll be right back with more stories of entrepreneurship after these messages.